Too many rides. Is he going soft? No, I've just got about 50 years of dirt riding behind me, and sometimes the most economical thing is to go for a few days and go camping and go dirt riding, get to some really nice places. That's what I like to do the most, is go to those wonderful spots by the lake or the creek. We like to get together in the high country and get together with friends, and these days it's been an annual thing where all the old members of the SDA get together one more time for a ride, and we go to nice places. But it's getting tougher and tougher to load up the bikes and get all the gear and go tent camping. That's why I thought about getting a toy hauler so I could have all the amenities of a sink and a stove and a shower and all, a bed already to go, that I don't have to set up camp so much, and I can just be comfortable. But camping's changed. The whole world has changed. Sometimes it's better to just go in and get back out the same day instead of setting up camp and spending all that time. And let me tell you, this is a luxury item here. That's why I'm going to call this the hauler episode. So it's from the old way of doing things to the new way. We've got to start a new day, a new style of camping, where we can get this trailer out there and we can set it up in a good spot. So after about a year of fixing the roof, getting tires for the truck, renewing the battery system, changing out the vents and the covers for things, and finally the time is right to take it out on the first dirt ride camping trip.
These are old tires.
It's a video about the hobby. This is my first time out with it.
And it's quite daunting. I don't know how to operate anything. The guy's got brand new propane tanks on the front here, and
my thoughts about how it
went.
went.
Things that aren't right.
Whether it's the right thing for me.
12-volt battery. I'm charging it, but it doesn't seem to be going over. All right, it's June 3rd, and getting ready to head out on the very first tow job. All hooked up, refrigerator's running, hot water heater's running, everything's working, and looking forward to a successful tow job, because I'm dragging this thing up all by myself without any help from anybody. No watchful eye behind me or anything like that. So I'm looking forward to unfurling the thing for the first time in the mountains, getting the bikes out, and seeing what I'll need for next time. We'll find out. And I'm ready to get on the road and start driving. I'm gonna jump right on the freeway here and haul ass up the hill. Okay, so far so good. We just did the freeway thing. Now we're on the Forest Hill Road. We already crossed the big bridge. It's using gas. Using fuel at an alarming rate. I have made it to Secret House, and it looks like I've chosen a place to park. For better or for worse, it's only one night. And I just had to jockey around a little bit up in there. It's fairly level front to back, but maybe a little lower on this side than it is on the other side. Yeah, we're here at Secret House, and we're unloading the bike right now. Made the journey okay. The bikes did. So this trailer hasn't had a whole lot of stuff in it, ever. But it will in the future have stuff. Then you can lift this off and right out of the way. Get the bikes out. This whole scenario is an exercise in messing with stuff and organizing stuff and packing stuff and undoing stuff and doing stuff back up. Okay, so we're here getting set up and stuff, and everything's going good, and I'm thinking about getting out for a short ride, and I noticed I forgot a duffel bag which has all the clothes in it. So I got the clothes I'm wearing, plus emergency clothes. Let's see what we can dig up here. I can't come up with a long sleeve shirt. I'm only wearing ankle high socks, so I think I'll have to put these into action. It's what we're gonna have to live with. It's only for a day. But that means I forgot my sweatshirt, kind of my cold weather stuff. But I do have the MX jacket. Plus I have a windbreaker. Yeah, good, we've got this. And these will have to be the pants of the day. The only long pants there are. Here at the campsite that we've chosen at Secret House, there's no phone reception, no service. So you're stuck here on your own. Hey, too many rides here. We're back at home base now, and it was a successful journey with the toy hauler. I gained experience, I used it, and I have some reflection on how well it works for me, how nice it is, what's a drag about it. The whole trip went well, and I've got her back in storage, emptied out, a little bit of cleaning up and putting some stuff away, and I'm looking forward to the next opportunity to use it. I have some insight as to how well it's going to work for me. With a heavy load of bikes and all the stuff on the initial trip up into the mountains, it's a heavy load. It's a heavy haul. It's a lot to tow. At some points going up the uphill on the roads, I had to downshift 2 gears and my motor's racing, and it seemed like I didn't even quite have enough power, even though I got the biggest motor in my truck there is. It just is a heavy load to tow. But then again, once you're in camp and set up, it's great to come back to. It's great we cooked dinner, we washed dishes, we had the table set up and sat around the table, we listened to music. I was able to go to bed at night comfortably, sleep well into the morning. All that is comfortable. Overall, it's not less work than going camping with a tent. No matter what, you've got a lot of stuff.
It seems my dilemma is dragging too much stuff, having too much junk, you know, and I worry about being stuck up there with all my junk, losing it. But this trip went well. That was my first trip. I'm looking forward to more. I need to put together a trip that's more economical. In other words, you want to get a rig like this up there, set up, and leave it there. Have it in service for a while. It doesn't make any sense to drag it up for one night. There was a few malfunctions. For instance, at one point we saw water coming out from under the cabinet. I don't know if that was condensation from the refrigerator or if there was something above the floor in the sink that was leaking. I'll have to get a look at that. And at one point overnight or in the morning, it was cold enough to want to turn the heater on, and it wouldn't turn on. I had it working back here at home, but once I got up there, I couldn't get it to turn on. So like I say, the trip went well, and it was good for an initial test journey. And, you know, if you're not in a hurry to go anywhere, then it's kind of a perfect thing to take it with you and utilize it as a home base. Too many rides here. I'm back from the trip, towing the toy hauler. And it went smoothly. I didn't really have any problems. I do have insights and thoughts on how well it works for me. And it was sure handy to have it. It was enjoyable and it was comfortable. When it's not in use, you got to keep it protected from the sun and the elements, and it's all that work to hook it up and get it ready to go. When you're not using it, you got to pay registration, and then there's gas. This trip here cost me $7.50 per gallon of gas, and so it's just a lot of work, all the maintenance and stuff. So I'm going to use it for the next couple years and see if we can't get some good use out of this, and then that'll be the end of it. I intend to take good care of it. I'm going to use it for the next 2 or 3 years, and then I can turn around and sell it. In the meantime, I hope to get many good rides out in the nice places and expand where I've been before, go to new places. Is he going soft? Is that too many rides going soft? Look, I've been roughing it for a long time. I've been roughing it for years. Camping out of the back of my truck, sleeping in the back of my truck, sleeping on the ground, sleeping in a tent, hauling up a bunch of stuff, using 3 ice chests and so on and so forth. So it's time for the lap of luxury. That's where the hobby comes in, and I am going to enjoy it. I've only got so much time left in my riding career, and let's make this as pleasant as possible. Hey, so what I'm trying to say about the hobby is I look forward to utilizing it efficiently and to having it available for those perfect runs where I need to stay inside, where I'm staying for days on end. And, you know, the realization that it doesn't come without its own peculiar set of needs and maintenance and preparation. So it's not all peaches and cream, but it is a great thing to have under the right circumstances. And what I'm trying to say about the hobby is I'm hoping that I can use it efficiently in the future, and I look forward to that. You got it? That's what I'm trying to say about the hobby. The hobby's gonna help me with my hobby, hopefully. And we'll just get too many rides to even count. We'll have too many rides, there's no doubt. There won't be any counting the rides because there's too many. You know what I mean. I'm gonna go hauling my bikes around. I need to create a rig so that when you open the cupboard, things don't fall right out. A netting, something.